Do you access your flow state before you start your creative practice? Today, I'm going to show you a few ways that I access mine. I'm Pat from Scrivener Art and Design, and I teach a lot of workshops in my studio, and one thing that I like to do is to get people in a relaxed state before we start. So today I'm going to be sharing with you an excerpt from a workshop that I did on your spiritual practice in your studio, on accessing your flow state, and it's just a little excerpt of the actual workshop where we made a spirit wheel and used it as a meditative practice. So other things that I use are my Chakra Chimes that are here behind me. I also write and journal a lot, do some meditations. So when I teach a workshop, I find that it really helps to calm people's nervous systems down before they dive in, and that way they can start in a really relaxed state and be ready to receive new information and hopefully access their flow state better, which I know is often hard in a group workshop. But this is how the Chakra Chimes sound, and if you don't have chakra chimes or maybe a singing bowl, you can access them online on YouTube and just listen to them. That's the next best thing. I'm just going to run through them quickly here so that you can hear how they sound. So of course, when I'm doing it for myself, I go much slower and really take a lot of deep breaths and just listen to anything that comes up for me and really try and get in a really calm space before I pick up my paintbrush. The other thing that I like to use is this Mandela card deck made by a local artist friend of mine, Sarah Clark, and you can find her designs and buy this Mandela deck at some retail stores in the area or on her website at Sarah Clark, I think it's .ca. So I'm going to pick one of these cards. This is something that we usually do in workshops in my studio or even online. I'll pick a class set of cards, sometimes 2 or 3. So today I'm going to pick one. So the card that I got today is Imagine What If. So imagine what if is something that comes up for me a lot when I'm working on my paintings because I work intuitively. And so imagine what if. I use what if I tried this, what if I did that, what would happen if. So this is a really appropriate card for me, and I actually draw it quite often. So I'm going to put the video on now of the actual workshop, and you can see the process of making the spirit wheel and some of the students' creations, as well as a poem that I read as well to go along with it. So enjoy. Thanks for watching. I'm just going to use a canvas today, actually, but I have this other sacred circle that I made that I'll show you. So this is on a mirror, so you're going to get to see the top of my camera there. But just to give you an idea, I did this on a cake stand that I had left from somebody's wedding that I'd done, so it's kind of fancy. I have salt, and salt is like the salt of the earth. Salt has a lot of energy. And so I'm going to, and you could, if you were making a canvas, you could draw on the canvas. You could draw your circle. But if you're on a plate or a platter or something that you don't want to make a mess on, then this is just a temporary, so it's just the circle, the sacred circle. You could call it a wheel as well. When we think about circles, there's so many. We experienced earlier the Mandela. The Mandela is based on a circle. The wheel with all the spokes are based on a circle. A healing wheel in medicine is based on a circle. In native medicine, the spiral is another symbol that has the circle. So there's so many different things. So I'm going to put some Himalayan salt in this as well, Himalayan sea salt. And we want to make sure the circle is complete and closed. We can build a circle beyond the circle if we have room. I like shells, so these are just miniature shells. So I'm going to sprinkle a few in amongst this as well. So anything that speaks to you and grounds you is nice. So this becomes a little kind of your sacred altar, healing kind of a circle, energy circle. Other things that can be good are lavender or any essential oils. Rosemary, basil has a lot of grounding power to it. So I could take this off too and sprinkle it into my circle. It's pretty dry, it's just dry lavender, so I could do that, or I can just use the lavender around, or I could use sticks. A lot of times I pick up leaves that talk to me. So I just want to make sure that I close that circle up. You might have some crystals, amethyst. I always pick up rocks that I like, so I just got some little smaller stones and a candle. So I do have a small soy candle that fits there nice. I also have this bigger candle that's a grounding candle. I may use that one today. And see, I have a sand dollar. So if your circle gets cluttered, it's okay to put something on the outside too. You might want to add a quote into your circle. So today I had found this quote when I was looking for collage stuff. This was from a class I did and I cut these out. It says, "Cut not the wings of your dreams, for they are the heartbeat and the freedom of your soul." And that's by Flavia, who had a fantastic card line. I don't know if they're still available, but anyway, this kind of spoke to me. So I'm going to lay that down as part of my sacred circle today. So to infuse the sacred circle, you could use some essential oils on your salts or on your candle, but my candle's scented, so I'm pretty good with that. But I am going to light my candle. Just to kind of activate my circle here with some light. So the center of your circle is related to your center and your core and your light, and this is the energy around it. And of course, if you have a candle burning, you can feel the energy and the heat from that candle as well. I'm going to invite you guys, if you did gather up some stuff, to be able to make a sacred circle.
I have sealing wax, one of my favorite colors. I have mustard bath salts around the outside edge, and they smell beautiful. And I have the skin off of a red Russian garlic, walnuts. I don't eat walnuts because I'm allergic to them, but I like them for what they are. Like, I think they look cool. And I have some twine, and then I have a beautiful rock that's got a feather and stuff attached to it. River rock, another little rock, and a little whale pendant. A candle. And that's that.
So I have it set up on a quilt that I have that's got fabric from when I was a child. And then I have a piece of glitter covered paper that my granddaughter made. And it's one of my favorite baking pans, glass pan that it's in. And I have Himalayan salt and some dried sage from my garden, and some petals off a tulip that are dried. Then there's 3 rocks, one that's a nice smooth one that I found when I was on a walk with my grandkids, and 2 other rocks that I found and that I painted. And I don't have a candle, so I used a pencil sharpener and put tissue paper like flames coming out of it. And I put essential oils on it that are lavender, sort of a eucalyptus-y thing, and another, I think, frankincense.
I have a candle in the middle, salt around the edges, and some rocks from a walk I was on yesterday, and lots of herbs from the garden.
I see you have a quote in there as well.
I do. I have a quote that I was actually sort of looking at this morning. The last line of the quote says, I would float into Creator's Spirit's deep embrace, knowing no effort earns that all-surrounding grace.
Beautiful. What I'm going to invite you to do is just hold your hands. Obviously, if you have a candle lit, like, be cautious, but kind of hold your hands around your circle where that energy field is, and I want you to breathe into it. And I'm going to read you a meditation, Spirit Taking Form. And it is a book about making art a spiritual practice, and it has a lot of kind of neat ideas. And there's a chapter I just opened up to called Healing the Inner Critic, which we all have, and it's just kind of an interesting book and has different meditations and stuff in. So I found this one that I thought was appropriate for what we were doing today, and it's all based on the spirit wheels, and the spiritual warrior sits in the middle of the fire is the first quote here by Pema Chodron. And so that's why a candle in the middle is your core and your fire. So take a deep breath, and I'll read through this. Let yourself relax. Imagine your light going through your body. Imagine your light centered at your heart. Stay there with it for a moment. Imagine movement around your heart. Just focus on a feeling there. Now visualize a wheel at your heart. Imagine this wheel in motion. Watch it in your mind and take a good look at it. How large is it? How does it move? What color is it? Your wheel has a center, a hub, a large rim, and 8 spokes. 4 of these spokes are oriented to the cardinal points, north, east, south, and west. Let your mind's eye bring you very close to it. Let yourself feel as if you are the wheel itself. Imagine that you become the wheel, your wheel. You are it. It is you. You have a center and you have a rim, and you are very strong. You are stronger than you have ever been, and you begin to move and move with it. Gently go around all the parts of your inner self with a very slow, beautiful rotation. What does your wheel look like? What does your rim look like? What is it made of? What are your spokes like? In your mind's eye or your heart's eye, envision the center. Take a good look. Draw yourself on the wheel. I want you to just take a moment to reflect and think about any words that are coming up for you that might be suitable for your affirmation cards. So any words that just were resonating from that, or that things that you thought about when you were meditating, and just jot those down. They might come in handy when we do the actual cards.